Alright guys, it's time for another DeckTech, and this time I will bring my Osgir, the Reconstructor. I really enjoy Strixhaven, and it's a set I totally fell in love with when it came. I didn't think I would like the Harry Potter theme a lot, but it turned out amazing. So many cool commanders, so much cool stuff that came out of the set, and Osgir is a very interesting take on Boros. It's sort of combo, but not really. It doesn't have to be combo. This deck I would not say is a combo deck, but there is an infinite in it, but there's like 10 cards, so and it doesn't win the game either. So it's it's something to end the game at least. So first off, we have ramp. I'm gonna start from the high to the low. Ugin, color spells cost less. Super great card, sort of card advantage in it as well, so it's a nice top end. Gilded Lotus, Thron Dynamo, Solemn. Now we get into the interesting stuff. Mirrors. So it's a mirror tribal deck. Sort of, yeah, it's a mirror tribal deck. I play enough mirrors, even the bad mirrors, to justify calling it a mirror deck, or yeah, mirror tribal. Mirror Reservoir. So this is an interesting card. This one is part of an infinite. I'll get to that later. Taps for mana for mirrors. A new addition, Inspiring Statuary. Not sure if it has a spot in the deck, but yeah, it's a nice artifact anyways. Cursed Mirror came with the deck. Also a nice combo piece. Supports one of the infinite combos. Plague Mirror. It's a mirror with infect. 2 mana rock that taps for 2. Mycosynth Wellspring. Fetches lands, ETB and on death. Moonsilver Key to fetch the nice pieces. Iron Mirror. Gold Mirror. And of course, Sovereign. The one that came with the deck. So it has a nice sweep of 1-2 mana artifacts, so I can get those out before Osgir is cheating out the turn early. It's not super important to get Osgir out on curve, because I sort of need to have something in the graveyard to resurrect or to make copies of. Solemn is a great target, drawing cards and getting double lands when it dies, and also sack outlet, so I can sack Solemn. Mirror Reservoir, I do not want to exile from graveyard because that is sort of a combo piece. Basically all the others I could sacrifice without a problem. So that was ramp. Next up we have card draw, or card advantage, or card selection. Combustible Gearhulk, fantastic card. A lot of high CMC spells, can deal a lot of damage if people are foolish enough to let me mill, and milling is also not a big problem because also you can get it back from graveyard. Came with the precon. The Reti card selection, also discarding is not super bad in this deck. New edition, top of the shop. Can draw me a card each turn on a creature dying and create Thopters. Mostly there for the card advantage part. Secret Rendezvous. More of a flavor from the Strixhaven deck. It's from the set, so I kind of like to keep the deck sort of centered around Strixhaven. But it's a mere tribal, so you can't really keep it super tight. But as many as I can from the precon and from Strixhaven. Loshil, super important card, making attacking much easier, and card advantage, of course. Thrill Discovery, both a discard and draw, so I get one more than I discard, and again, discarding is not a problem. Life gain is also fine. Mythical Archive, I sort of like the frames a lot, and like the cards from the Mythical Archive, so I'm trying to keep them. Thrill Possibility, discarding and drawing. kind of want to go with I think it's Scars of Mirrodin, Ichor Wellspring, but that's like 4 or 5 euros. So for now, I will be happy with the Retro Frame. Endless Atlas. Yeah, I play monocolor. I play 20 basics, so yeah, this one will draw me cards, but it's on the chopping block. There's better options out there. Origin Spellbomb. I think one of the worst spell bombs, but it's from I think this one is Scars of Mirrodin. And yeah, this one is not a great card, but it draws me cards. And of course, the ugly Faithless Looting. Huge bonus because it's a super ugly card. And also draws and discards. So that's the main focused card advantage draw type cards. Some extra synergies with discard as well, so yeah, that's a nice sweep. So that's card draw. Now we have Interaction. Organic Extinction, fantastic card in this deck. I get to keep a lot and everyone loses most of everything. Friction Rebirth, it's not a good card, but again it's from Mirrodin Besiege, I think this one is, and yeah, it's just flavor. It's a sweeper. I could go with Wrath of God, but that's cool. Austere Command, because, you know, one of my favorite cards, takes out everything you need, or the most important parts. Tragic Arrogance, came with the deck. I kind of like it. I get to keep something. Osgir most likely, and yeah. Also came with the Precon, Excavation Technique. Get to destroy 2 permanents, and someone else gets to destroy something as well. So it's a sorcery, so it kind of hurts it, but you know, it's flavor, so I keep it. One of my all-time favorites, red-white interactions, Wear and Tear. Hits everything you need. Mystical Archive, Mystical Archive, Chaos Warp. It's not I'm not a super fan of it, but Mystical Archive is Mystical Archive. Here's a card I really, really enjoy. Leave No Trace. Destroys an enchantment and all other enchantments that shares a color with it. So if I can hit, I don't think I run any really enchantments in this deck, so this is just perfect card. Like €1 for a foiled, and I think this is Ravnica, the original Ravnica. I don't understand why this card is not played more in EDH. It's absolutely fantastic, and the art is nice as well. Swords to Plowshares, classic card. Speller's Capsule, came with the Precon, but I got the Alara Reborn version instead. Dispatch, came with the deck, basically a Swords to Plowshares. Byforce, yeah, we need mass destruction at this point, so Byforce is a nice card to remove all the pesky artifacts and treasures and stuff. So it's a little light on interaction, but 4 sweepers and 8 pieces with 1 recurable, I think that's fine. I can survive with this. So that's interaction. Now we come to a more interesting part. It's the damage, where the damage of the deck comes from. Yorkadin, plus 3 power, super nice. It's an 8/4 first striker, can deal with a lot of stuff. Bronze Golem, came with the Precon. Has ward and gives everything else ward as well. Double strike. Having 2 of these guys out will basically cut anything down because there's so many artifacts. Alibu gives them haste, so it's kind of sort of part of a combo piece, but mainly this does a lot of work because not only the haste, but also when I attack, she deals a ton of damage as well. And Dig Site Engineer creates constructs, and these become huge quickly because most of the cards in this deck are artifacts, so just having a lot of mana when this deck has become, when you saw the ramp package, it's a lot of mana, and I have some other cards that also increases mana production, but yeah, they become huge and they become threats. So that's the damage aspect of the deck. Also, Osgir can also sacrifice a ton of artifacts to boost his own power to going for lethal, commander lethal, and with the pesky toxic mirror, or yeah, with infect, it can kill with infect as well. But that only happened once, and I'm sorry, John. So that was the damage aspect of the deck. Here are some less easy to define cards, more like the good stuff you want to run in your deck regardless of the type of deck you run. Some are more specific than others. Of course, Sunny T, Recursion, Forsaken Monument, Life Gain, Anthem. This card does it all. It's a fantastic card. Mirror Turbine is not a fantastic card, but it's a nice mirror card. Can tap 5 to tutor up a combo piece, and also creates blockers. Again, I would not run this in any other deck. Mirrorworks. Yes, value oriented, creating double tokens, making the combo easier as well. Wandering Archaic, fantastic card. Doubling up spells. It's basically a heuristic study, but more fun because people can give away like interactions, so can double up interactions. Also making counter spells harder to play as well, so I really like this card. Helm of the Host, arguably could go into the damage aspect of the deck. It's mostly for, yeah, like Sun Titan and stuff like Wandering Archaic and some of the other mirrors that really pushes the deck forward. But I love this card. It's super fun. And if I could run Helm of the Host and Broody-Clad, I would run it all decks. Panharmonicon, again, value. Here we come to a combo piece. So the mirrors, the taps for mana, if I can generate 2 mana, it's infinite with this guy. If I can get another one of these, and I can do it with Mirrorworks, I can do it with Helm of the Host, and I can do it with sacrificing it and going to reanimate it with Osgir. But that I can only do that once, so it's more vulnerable to interaction. But that's an infinite combo that does not win the game, but with some other cards you can have some fun. Sculpture Steel. Again, can target Galvanizer to create 2 Galvanizers and creating infinite mana from that. So it's also sort of redundancy combo piece. It also can be a value piece. And that one I don't mind so much if I sacrifice it to turn a early Soul Ring into something like a Mirror Turbine or another Panharmonicon or stuff. But yeah, that one's nice. 1000 Year Elixir came to the deck. Fantastic card. Osgir can activate when it enters. Battlemate's Bracers. Yeah, I'm not sold on the card. There's some like Audacious Reshapers. I have killed myself with this before, so I am quite wary about using it. But generally, it's value oriented. And Audacious Reshapers, of course, flipping cards until I hit an artifact. So basically, a cascade into an artifact, regardless of value. Mirror Retriever, nice recursion piece. Part of an infinite combo. This one plus Sculptured Steel is infinite. If I have infinite mana, I have infinite recursion. I can pump my team infinitely large. Again, doesn't win the game if people have blockers, but also with the Forsaken Monument, I get infinite life as well. But that's not really something the deck focuses on. Boros Charm, 4 damage, it's nice. Indestructible, mostly use this as protection, as indestructible. And the double strike is nice if I have something huge that goes through, can end the game as well as a combat trick. Blade of Selves, nice to have on like Sun Titan or have it on stuff like Solemn or stuff. So yeah, this one is nice in this deck. Serrated Shelter, again protection, also flips into a land, so opportunity cost is super low. This one I run in most white decks. And a Manifold Key. Untap. Does not really help with the infinite combo, but it does work on its own. Can untap Gilded Lotus or stuff, so can go positive in mana. Also create more tokens with Mere Turbine, but yeah, that's not really the point of the card. So this is the value part of the deck. Pretty high CMC. The deck is pretty high CMC, but it has 14 ramp pieces that increases mana, so I can usually ramp pretty quickly and pretty hard in the start, and then hopefully not a complete artifact sweeper, but maybe only a creature sweeper or something, and I can recover from that by playing Osgir and starting to reanimate stuff from the graveyard. And now for the final part. Besides lands, there are the mirrors. Mirror Battlesphere. It's a fun card, nice to double up, reanimate it, getting 8, having Panarmarkan, getting 16 tokens, plus Helm of the Host, that's 8 more, 24, attack, tap 24, 24 damage, straight to the face. It's a finisher. It could be a part of the damage aspect of the deck as well. Shimmer Mirror. Yeah, Flash is nice, also a mirror, so almost now to include. Mirror Propagator. Never really used this card. It's just part of the flavor. Sure, it's nice to create tokens, but they're 1/1s, and yeah. Mirror Welder. Can exile stuff from opponent's graveyard to stop them from recurring stuff, but yeah, this one is also mainly for flavor. Perilous Mirror. It's a mirror. Basically, it's a mirror, so he gets a pass from that. But again, in the infinite combo, if I have 3 pieces of recursion, I can go infinite and kill with this guy. But other than that, he's not really much more than a mirror. Hover Mirror, super strong, 2 mana, flyer, and vigilance. Has 2 toughness. So this one is for sure a powerhouse in the deck. He puts in work. He needs some help, but that guy is a killer. So that's the mirrors. And yeah, they're mirrors. That's basically all I can say about them. Shimmer Mirror for sure is good. Mirror Battlesphere is fine. There are other 7 drops that's far better, or 6 drops even that's far better, but yeah, I like them. They're cool. So that's the mirrors, and now for the most boring part, I think, it's the lands. Command Tower, Artifact Land, yep, basically Pain Land, Snarl from the Strixhaven set, and I also like these lands a lot. I don't understand why not played more. Rugged Prairie, Filter, Exotic Orchard, usually just one of the colors. Rogue's Passage, again, if I have a Mirror Battlesphere with 100 tokens, it's nice to go through and just kill one player. Artifact Land costs 0 to reanimate and indestructible, so this is sort of a ramp deal. Same with this, Ancient Den, Great Furnace. Mirrored Landscape on the chopping blocks. As soon as I get another land, I'll just replace this one with something better. Inventor Sphere would be nice, but I think that's sort of out of the budget for this deck. It's already above 100 euros, or like 150, so. Drifted Meadows. That's mainly because of the expensive old foils. I like the cycle lands as well because it can generate so much mana. Filtering is just fine. Hate to pull lands mid-game and bricking. So I'm running 10 mountains. And these ones were the ones I had at home. I bought I think 15 of each when they were spoiled or when they arrived. But it's not my favorite land, but they're pretty nice. I have a friend who is really annoyed by the fact that you can't really see what sort of land it is, because if you cover you can see the frame, but it's kind of hard to tell plains from mountains. So he's annoyed, and I really enjoy that he's annoyed when I play these lands. So that's the deck. Alright, so now it's time for the infinite combo. So it's centered around Mirror Galvanizer. I can pay 1 to untap it and untap all, or not it, but all other mirrors. And if I have either those two, or Osgir made copies of those two, or the other mirror, Palladium mirror, if I have 2 galvanizers and either those two, one of those, or a Palladium mirror, that's infinite mana. And that's always nice. I can either, again, sacrifice to Osgir to reanimate 2 mirror galvanizers. That's one way of doing it. If I have 3 mana, I can equip it with the Battle Mage's Bracers. I cannot at all. That's false. Fake news. Because he doesn't untap himself. But I can do a Cursed Mirror copying Mirror Galvanizer. Or I can do Sculptured Steel. Copy and make a copy of Mirror Galvanizer. So that's one way of doing it. Or I can do... How do I do this? I can do Mirror Works and create into a copy on ETB to create 2 Mirror Galvanizers going infinite. And it's only infinite mana. I don't have any fireballs or really payoffs for infinite mana, so it doesn't do a lot for this deck. And I can't turn Osgir into a mirror. That's a reality I have to live with, but that's how it is. So I can only go infinite. I cannot do a lot with infinite mana. Again, if you're infinite and you have all the key pieces, like you have... oh yeah, I could also have 2 Plague Mirrors, for sure. Say I have Dig Site Engineer, that's a lot of value. But that's about it. The other combo in this deck is with... Yeah, I could keep Mirror Works, that one is good. That one is good. That one is good. Those 2 I don't need. And these I don't need for this combo. So this is a combo that's centered around either, or I need both, Mirror Retriever. Mirror Retriever is a centerpiece. And Mirror Reservoir. So I can, if I'm infinite in mana, I could sacrifice... it doesn't really matter what I start with, but I start with sacrificing Mirror Reservoir, putting that in my graveyard, sacrificing Mirror Retriever, returning Reservoir to my hand, playing Reservoir, tapping it, and 3 mana, I'm infinite, so it doesn't really matter. I'll bring back to my hand, I'll sacrifice it, I'll play. So that's an infinite loop. I need infinite mana to do it, so it's not super useful, and all it does is giving all my creatures infinite power. I can also do this combo without Reservoir. I can do it with Sculptured Steel, having it enter as a copy of Mirror Retriever. Can also do it with Mirror Works, creating 2 Mirror Retrievers, sacrificing the real one first, and then returning it to hand. That also give me... Yeah, if I have either Cursed Mirror, Sculptured Steel, and Mirror Works, and infinite mana, I can do Mirror Retriever and get infinite tokens with the Dig Site Engineer. Again, it's no real payoff, and with Forsaken Monument, that's infinite life as well. Again, not super useful, but with Manifold Key, I could just buff something up infinitely and one-shot someone. And that is about it as far as combos go. I guess with some gymnastics I can do Mirror Turbine, if I have 3 of those, to create an infinite army of mirrors. And I guess I could just recast something like the Combustible Gear Hulk infinite amount of times and just... I'll mill myself. I'll mill myself, and I have no win con from that either, so that wouldn't work. I can also, if I have Retriever plus Sculpture Steel plus Curse Mirror or the Mirror Works, I could go with something like the Peerless Mirror and do infinite damage. But again, that's a lot of cards needed to get that off the ground. Mirror Battlesphere, if I can recur it infinitely, I need to find something that gives it haste, or last copy will become Cursed Mirror with Mirror Works, creating killing 2 people. Yeah, so it's almost winning. it can almost win with infinite mana, but there has to be some work done. But that's generally the deck. So how does it play? It's a super fun deck, super explosive. It ramps quick, creates some nasty tokens. The constructs really kill, and there's a lot of really good cards in this deck and some pretty horrible ones. It's pretty light on interaction, and as many of the new decks, the artifact decks, the playstyle of them is they are kind of glass cannon. This one I think has a little bit more recursion. The Reti can also, with the -2 recur stuff. It has potential of drawing a lot of cards, but it's sort of centered on Osgir, and I kind of need to put them in the graveyard from somewhere, discarding them, or just playing around interaction. And as I have no real evasion either, like I have no trample, I have no flying, I have only Rogue's Passage and like the key to actually get around like huge army of token blockers. There are some inherent weaknesses to the deck, but other than that, it's a super fun deck and super fun to play like Strixhaven or like a theme deck around Strixhaven and mirrors, because how often do you see mirrors? So that's the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.